If you want to see how I achieved this look, keep watching.
You can see it from the front, wait till you see it from the back. Back till you see it back till you see it back.
So first things first, you have to start off with a clean, moisturized face. This is my makeup kit right here. I ordered it off Amazon, and yes, this is my actual makeup kit, so it's a little bit dingy because I actually use it. First, I put some translucent powder on my face. That's the brand I use. You can get it at the drugstore or Walmart or even Publix. And then I just put that all over my face, and then I spray some setting spray. And this is the one that I love to use by Morphe. I love that it's a mist. It's actually better than any other setting spray I've ever used, and that's the honest truth. And then I use this primer and this primer, and I mix them together because I have combination skin. So it's like I'm oily but I'm dry at the same time. So I use things that are for both. So I mix them together and I put them on my face just like that. And you see how I'm doing upwards motions and I'm getting the edges because I had got my hair done, so you don't want to mess up the edges. Then I get this Wet n Wild pencil from Walmart that costs $1. Yes, it costs $1, and I'm just gonna put that out there. Sometimes the placebo effect is real. The cheaper products work better than the expensive products sometimes, so don't knock it just because it's cheap. It actually works better than these $30 pencils these big brands are trying to sell you. So I just comb out my eyebrows with the spoolie, and I'm putting a disclaimer. I have dark spots all over my face, and the whole point of me doing this face is because I don't want to cover them up. It makes it look more natural if you don't cover up all your spots, if you have spots on your face. So I draw a line underneath my eyebrows first, just like that, very light, because like I said, this is a natural face. We don't want those super dark Instagrammy lashes. Eyebrows. But yeah, then I'm just gonna shade it in very lightly at the ends, just like that. And as I get to the front, I'm doing like singular stroke motions to make it resemble hairs. And then you're just gonna keep doing that all throughout the eyebrow, and it should look just like this. Do you see the difference? Then I'm gonna comb it out again with the spoolie. I don't know what you call it, but I call it a spoolie. You can Google it. It's different things to call it, but that's what I call it. And then once you're done with both eyebrows, it should look just like this. Make sure they're identical. It's very hard to master that. To me, eyebrows are one of the hardest things to do, and once you get that, the rest of your face will look good. And this is my trick. I use hydrating foundation from Fenty as a concealer. I actually love it so much, and unfortunately they discontinued this, so it's actually very hard to find. This might be my last bottle ever, so I'm savoring it because you don't know what I had to do to be able to find this bottle after they discontinued it. So I just take my e.l.f. concealer brush and I go very lightly underneath the eyebrow first, and I start at the beginning of the brow and I slowly work my way throughout the end of the brow. Make sure you take your time and you're doing it very straight and crisp and even. Please make sure your hand is steady. If you have a shaky hand, make sure it's steady for this part, okay? Or it will mess up the face. So it should look just like that after. And then I'm going to do the top of the brow, and then I'm just gonna glide it across the top just like that. The top is actually much easier to do than the bottom because you just use the bottom as a guide for the top. And you make sure the top, it attaches to the bottom so you have a nice thin and crisp tail of your brow at the end, if you like that. I like my brow ends to be very sharp. If you don't like that, then don't worry about it. You could round it out. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. And then I use the Morphe R33 brush. I do believe Morphe has some of the best brushes, and I use that to blend out the concealer once I've lined my eyebrows with it. And you just go in a circular motion just like this, and it'll just start blending out eventually. It takes no time. I do this in probably 1 minute. And if you notice, at this part, I'm going around my eyelids first, and then I work my way up to the edges of the lashes. And make sure you go in a round circle at the end because you don't want to accidentally blend away the sharp tail. Like I said, if that's what you like. If you don't like that, then disregard what I'm saying. And you see how I'm going on the outside first and then I work my way in the inside, just like that. Make sure you do that, because if you go too close to the eyebrow when you first start blending, you're going to blend away the sharpness of the brow, and you want the eyebrow to stay sharp, crisp, and clean. And then I just take the excess concealer and I lightly brush it throughout the beginning of the eyebrow so it has that nice blended in ombre effect, just like this. Just like that. Yes, girl. Get it! Then I get my Fenty powder foundation in the shade 420. And this is a holy grail for me for a natural face. I don't use liquid foundation for a natural face. The key to having it look natural is to use the powder. But, you know, I use it so much, I drop it, I'm a little bit clumsy, and it broke. So it doesn't matter though, because it's powder. We could still use the edges, the perimeter, and it works just fine. So I take that and I rub it all over my face, and it gives it like this nice thin veil. It almost makes it look like very smooth and very one-toned. I just love the effect that it gives. If you don't like a full heavy face of makeup, I feel like the powder foundation would be great for you. And if you notice, I barely go over the areas where concealer goes. So I never put foundation directly underneath my eyes because I don't want it to look cakey. Even though this is powder and it's not liquid, the same thing applies. And I just put that all across the perimeter of my face, slightly avoiding the areas where the concealer is going to go. Now, don't get me wrong. If you brush across the concealer areas a few times, it's just fine, but don't directly put it on those areas. Then I just take the concealer again and I do my face just like that. I know it might look a little crazy, but that's what you have to do for your makeup to look bomb, okay? And then I put it directly under my eyes just like this. And then my trick is that I draw a little tail at the end, right? So I'll show you that in a second. And then I put it upper lip, my chin, my forehead, and then I do just like that. And your nose naturally will contour if your foundation is the right color. And this is the trick. So I slightly put like a little swatch of concealer right there by my eyes, and it really lifts up your entire face. You'll really see a difference if you start doing that with your concealer. Then I take my beauty blender and I wet it first. Make sure you wet your beauty blender, and I did spray setting spray beforehand so that it really melts in. And then you just blend it out. Keep blending, 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 blending. I'm telling you, this is the trick. As you're doing your makeup, make sure you're constantly spraying setting spray the entire time. And then I just blend out everywhere that I put the concealer. This is also a really huge makeup tip that I don't hear people talk about often. Make sure you don't blend out your makeup too much. You still want there to be some sort of distinction and dimension between where the foundation and the concealer is. And next, I use my Honey Fenty setting powder. If you haven't noticed, I use a lot of Fenty and a lot of Morphe. Okay? All right. And then I take my beauty blender and I lightly dab it in there. And then I just pat it all over my face wherever I put the concealer. Now, like I said, this is a natural beat for the 10th time. So the whole key with this routine is that we're not going to be too precise. We're not going to be too sharp with anything. You're just going to kind of sloppily, but still strategically dab it across. Sometimes I get bored, y'all. And then you're going to dab it across your face, and then you're going to blend it away with your powder brush. And notice I'm doing it from the bottom, and then I'm working my way up very lightly. And you see how I'm holding the end of the brush, not the beginning? You don't want to have a tight grip on your makeup brush. You want to be very loose and gentle, and that's how it should look after. And you're going to repeat the same process throughout the entirety of your face wherever you put the setting powder. This next part is optional if you like eyeshadow. This is the eyeshadow palette that I'm using. It's from Morphe. It's the Desert Bouquet palette. It has a lot of like darker type of colors, more neutral tone colors. If you like bright colors, this is not the eyeshadow palette for you. This is what the colors look like once I open them up, and I actually love them a lot. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. Morphe has really good eyeshadows for darker skin people. And here I am trying to figure out which one I want to use. So I went with shade Mud Mask and Rock On. So this is me using my Bogachis, I think that's how you use it, blending brush. It's something I got in my Ipsy bag that I pay for every month, that I did pay for. I just have so much makeup now. I don't necessarily have Ipsy anymore, but I would recommend Ipsy if you're like a beginner and you need some new makeup. So I just take the color Rock On and I blend it all across the outer part of my eyebrow. Now, I'm not no makeup artist right now, y'all, so I don't know the correct terminology for everything, but you see what I'm doing? You just do that too, okay? You blend the outside and it should look like this at the end. Then I also chose a new color. It's called Hottest Ever. It's right below Rock On. And then I go on my actual lid and I blend it out just like that. And it's slowly coming together. If you're a person you don't really like eyeshadow, you could even use foundation as your eyeshadow. They may never know. And I just take a little bit of the Midnight Bloom with my really thin brush. This is it. It's by Morphe. It's called the E37 brush. And I just slide that all across the waterline of my eye. And it should look just like this when you do it. And make sure you try to prevent your eyes from watering, because that may happen, which is why it's called a waterline. And you don't want that to happen because it will mess up your makeup. And then you're just going to drag it across the waterline and it should look just like this. And you can keep on reapplying more and more if you want a deeper, more pigmented look. And a good tip is for putting things on your hand first to test out how they look before you actually put it on your face, because you don't want to mess yourself up. And then next I use the blush called Seduce by Tarte with my 660 foundation brush from the brand called Luxe, and I just blend that out around my cheekbones. And this color from Tarte is a very subtle color because, like I said, it's a natural face, so we don't want anything to be too bold or anything right now. Everything is supposed to be natural and subtle. You can even barely tell that I'm even wearing blush. You have to look very hard to even see the blush. And I use my About Face Light Lock Press Powder, and I just take some of that. I usually use my finger to do it, and I just dab some on the tip of my nose, and then I put some right there. And in real life, it looks so good. I had to dim the light down because you can really tell in a dim light setting. Then I use my Fenty Diamond Balm All Over highlighter. And don't judge me for how it looks. Like I said, this is my actual makeup that I use every day. So this one is a white highlighter, so yes, it does look dingy, but trust me, it's not. And I also use my Carmex. I use it a lot, so it's not that much left. So I really had to squeeze the little bitty left that I had to put some on my lips. Make sure you moisturize your lips. Then I take my same eyeliner pencil, that's $1 from Walmart by Wet n Wild, and I line my lips with that. This eyeliner pencil can be used for a multitude of things when you're doing your makeup, which is why I said you need to go buy that. Just because it's cheap, don't sleep, okay? This is one of the best things that I own. Take your to Walmart and go buy it now! But yeah, I just line my lips just like this. And like I said, make sure you moisturize your lips first, because the way that your lips are going to look when you moisturize them with some form of chapstick or Carmex or Vaseline first is going to make it look different than if you had put nothing. Trust me, try it out next time. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Then I use the Morphe lipstick in the shade Single as, and then I just take it out and then I put that in the middle. Make sure to not put it on the corners because you still want it to have that dark effect on the perimeter of your lips. Like I said, don't blend out your makeup too much. It's going to take the effect away. That goes for everything. You only want to blend out as much as you need to. And then I take the eyeliner pencil and I line my lips again as much as I feel like I need to. And then once again, I spray my face with the setting spray. Like I said, don't get tired of your setting spray. You're going to keep using it throughout the whole process of you doing your makeup. And it's coming to, it's getting there. Ooh, cover girl. Like I said, y'all, I've been bored, so. And then this is the little eyeshadow brush that I use from Morphe to do small details all over my face. Like I said earlier in the video, it's called the E37 brush by Morphe. Then these are like a holy grail for eyebrows. Like I said, that Wet n Wild thing is important, but these are just as important. The Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pen, I just use that to draw individual hairs all throughout my eyebrows. And it really depends on your hand. You really have to get a hang of this, because if you're too heavy, it'll look bad. If you're too light, you won't be able to see it. So you have to have the right amount of pressure applied when you're applying this. So this is for skilled people only. If you feel like you have a shaky hand, or you're heavy-handed, or you're too light-handed, this might not be for you. But, I mean, everyone's a beginner sometimes, so I would suggest just buy it. Cheaper brands have similar products. Just try it out and you might like it. Then I also use my Anastasia Beverly Hills, whoa, that sounded so country, clear brow gel. And I just like whisk my lashes in an upward motion so that you can really see every individual hair. And then I use my Fenty mascara, because like I said, this is a natural face. I'm gonna say this all throughout the video. We're not wearing no big bulky 30mm lashes. This is just mascara. If you want to put lashes on, you do what you want to do, but that's not what I'm doing in this video, okay? I'm just going to do the mascara. And a good trick for mascara is you go side to side and then you go up and down. Don't just go up and down. If you really want to see the full effect, go side to side, then up and down. And it should look somewhat like this, and you can keep applying to get a more bold look. And it's coming together. I'm almost done. All right, we have a few more steps left, but like I said, you can still see like my actual skin, but you can tell I have some type of makeup on. And this is what it looks like in like bright lighting. When you're in a dim setting, it looks so much better. I feel like it looks better regardless, but it really blends out in a dark setting. And then I just use this dollar lip gloss from the beauty supply store. Like I said, sometimes cheap is the best route to go. This is some of the best lip gloss to me. Although it may transfer a little bit here and there, it's one of the best lip gloss you're gonna get. I see these expensive brands of lip gloss and they don't do nearly the same thing that beauty supply store lip gloss does. And then I just put a thin layer of the About Face Light Lock lip gloss in the shade Peyton over my lips. This is not necessary, this is extra, because I know this lip gloss is harder to find. But if you have something similar to that color, it has more of a holographic look to it, so it gives your lips like a really nice shimmery look to them. And it depends on what angle you're coming from. It shimmers and then it's flat. But this is pretty much what my face is looking like. It's coming together, y'all. It is the bomb. I said this is why you should do that, okay? I'm telling you, whenever I wear my face like this, people are like, oh my gosh, where'd you get your foundation from? What are you wearing? Oh my God. But yeah, don't forget to do everything I said, or at least do majority of the things, and then you'll be looking just like me in this clip, okay? This is how I like to wear my face on a day-to-day basis. This is what works for me. It's very light, it's very clean, it looks clean, and it can be worn anywhere: work, home, out to eat, somewhere nice, somewhere not nice, if you run into the store, if you're trying to go be a anything you want to do, you know? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me. Oh, and this is me at the end of the day. I wore it out and look, no transfer, none at all, still there, okay? So see y'all next time.
I wrote you a symphony just to say how much you mean to me? What would you do if I told you you were beautiful? Would you date me?